Hello and welcome to the old Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a LEGO set and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the LEGO, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, you can use other people's emotes, or you can be a lurker. Being a lurker is okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Aristophan is here. Ghostvalve is here. We already have a great crew of folks already. This is the intro portion of the stream. Of course, the people that put the emotes in the chat, they already know what it is. Lord Crashin is here as well. Great to have you. It's the intro portion of the stream. This is where I hang out, where I allow people to be fashionably late so I don't start working on this LEGO set right off the bat. We have started it. We started it on Monday. This is the LEGO Supersonic Jet 3-in-1, which means that we will assemble, disassemble, assemble, disassemble, assemble. 3 different sets using the same pieces. Will we use every piece for every version of the kit? No. We're starting with the boat because I thought it would be kind of fun to start the boat. Then we're going to do the helicopter, and we're going to end with the jet, the supersonic jet from the name, because that'll use the most pieces, and it also includes pieces to put a stand in there. And if I was going to keep this LEGO set, it would probably be as that. Although most likely I will then, on my own time, disassemble whatever I have and then put the LEGO in a collection, in a box, that will then be eventually sent out and donated to charity through LEGO Replay here in the United States. I believe there is a version in Canada as well. I do not know for other countries, but I know in the United States, you can donate your Lego. You print out a label and you go over to a FedEx box, and then it goes off. They clean every piece, they sort, and then they hand Lego over to needy children, which is fucking rad and a great thing. Instead of me just having a ton of Lego I won't do anything with, because there was a point where I was like, so I had in my head that one day I was going to do a stream where I just like had a big box and I kind of just like made my own robot out of Lego. But just like the amount of space I would need for all the parts and stuff, I was just like, I'm never going to do, I just know I'm never going to do that. So instead, Lego goes out to the children, which is nice. People ask me about that. What do I do with my Lego and with my model kits? My Lego goes out to help the less fortunate. My model kits, some go to friends that have collections that are looking for pieces that have displays. Some go into storage here under this bed that's right over there. Got a big box full of stuff I want to keep. And some just go out into the ether, never to be seen or heard from again. Because I can only keep so many model kits. I don't even have any. Those are the only ones on display, and I have more in a box. I just put out whatever I want, and they're barely on display because my webcam. Barely got it. Just go into chaos mode and disassemble every set into a bucket, mix it all together. Well, the Lego does that. The Lego just goes into a box because you don't just send the whole thing. You just send pieces because they don't just like painstaking. They have like it seems to me they have like they have sorting machines. And then they put together custom boxes for kids. So all my Lego just goes into a box. My model kits could just all go into a box. But I do each set for display purposes. I usually get rid of some of the spare parts, keep the kit itself. They all go into their own Ziploc bag along with like the arms and the weapons taken off, or the hands, I should say, go into their own Ziploc box, and then they go into a box. And then in storage in New York, I have some stuff. The burger truck, the burger monster truck Lego set, I saved that. I believe that is the only Lego set that I have kept in that collection. And then I have a bunch of like the perfect grade kits that I've built on stream and quite a few other. Any desk site that I have built is in storage because I keep all my desk sites. You get it. You know what I'm saying. We're about to get into Lego building because it's time to do that. We are currently at 33 subscribers. The goal is always 40. If you are not yet a subscriber and you'd like to become one, you could do that right now. Just become a subscriber, $5 cash money, or your Prime Gaming token. You can use that on me. If you want a gift sub to somebody in the community, Wristfan is the top of our gift sub leaderboard with 1 gifted sub this month, but over 100 in general. So like whatever. I forget how many, but it's a goddamn lot. Right now, Aristophan is the gift leader with one, but has gifted just so many goddamn. Yes, you have the note denoting over 100 gifted subs. But you could gift a sub if you wanted to, or don't. There are other ways to support me, and I'll talk about that later. I'm going to retweet my own tweet, see if we can get a few more friends out there. And then we'll just get into do some Lego. We'll go to the overhead. There's the overhead. Now, I did not stream on Tuesday. I wanted to. If you were here on Wednesday, you know that by the end of the stream, my voice was not where I would want it to be. It did not sound great. I was getting a cold on Monday. By Tuesday, full-blown cold. Felt awful. Just did not sound good. My throat hurt to swallow. Couldn't talk well at all. Barely could get any words out. So I did not do Tuesday night stream. I just made the decision that it made a lot more sense to just skip that stream. I like playing Pokemon. Pokemon Platinum Randomizer is a fun randomizer. We just got to the point. I've now, on my own, went out there to level up because we were at a a gym leader that I was like, I'm not going to be able to beat this gym leader. There's just no way. So I went and did a little grinding on my own to get the levels up. But yeah, my voice was shot, so I took that off, just vocal rest on Tuesday. Watched wrestling instead. Why not? And hung out. And then I came here and tonight to stream, and I'm excited to be here. I hope you're all doing well. I hope a few more friends are trying to join us. I am aware, I'm fully aware that Lego sets, for me, do not do as well as model kits. We just finished the real grade, which there is a tension. Not a lot of people have built the real grade, that real grade God Gundam in general, or on Twitch or on YouTube. So it has like higher numbers of views than some of my other VODs because people are searching for it. Oops, this is wrong. This is one off. There we go. That's right. Okay, and we need a 1x4 white. So yeah, so I know that my Lego sets building doesn't do the numbers as like me building a Gunpla, Plamo. I know that. I understand that, but I like building Lego, especially. I did not plan this. This was voted by my $10 patrons. I gave this Lego set as an option, and my $10 patrons decided this was the next thing they wanted to see me build, which is great. It ended up working out incredibly well for me because this is a low-impact build. If I screw something up, it's Lego. I can fix it. If I screw up a model kit, then I'm getting out all kinds of, like I have to then break out all kinds of stuff to make things work. I have to get like the liquid cement, and I might even need my tweezers, and I got to do a little bit of surgery, which is not great when I am recovering from what turned out to be a fucking vicious cold. My dad got it this weekend, then I got it, and then, unfortunately, yesterday, my mom suddenly had it. So it swept through the house. I don't remember the last time I was sick. I just don't. I had a stomach bug a couple years ago that was bad, that was going around Christmas time. I got a stomach bug. And that's the last time I remember being, like, very sick. Like, that and my arm hurt, and I felt kind of gross after my first COVID booster. Not the two shots, but the booster, the first booster, for whatever reason, hit me real hard, whereas it had not hit me real hard before that, or this last booster I had. But not like as bad as some people have gotten. I didn't feel that. I don't. And by flu shot, I mean flu shots have never bothered me. I know some people get sick after a flu shot, but that's never been the case for this guy. All right, so we got to put. Okay. Oh, we're finishing this part of the boat. I already did it on the other side. I just don't remember it because it was Monday. So it's just like, oh yeah. This should be a very simple build, and then we'll do disassembly and then reassembly, into a helicopter. We got the helicopter too as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm feeling better, which is great. Obviously, very happy to be feeling better after not feeling great past 2 days. Hey, just to let you know, friends, I don't recommend feeling bad. If you can feel good instead of bad, I would say go for it because it's pretty great. Or like maybe not even good. If you can feel not bad, let's just like go with that. If you can start feeling not bad, I recommend it. It is pretty fantastic. All right, so now we're using what will probably be our jet wings. Thanks, Lord Crashington. Yeah, that's what people come here, right? You come here for the health tips, right? I assume that's why you come here. I love that we're using this piece. Will probably be a wing. This is fun because some of these colors aren't the same on either side, but it doesn't matter because you won't see them because they're all going to be covered up. They're just, they found a way to reuse these, which I think is funny. I'll look into the not bad thing. Yeah, Lord Crashington, I would say take a look. It might be helpful. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to mute myself and blow my nose at some point. I'm not fully over this. Also, the weather, it got cold and it's hoodie weather around here. We had like a brief bit of hoodie weather, and now we are in full-blown hoodie weather. It might warm up a little bit, but not much, which is great because I like seasons. We don't get much seasons here in South Carolina. It never gets super cold. It quote unquote becomes the winter, but it's not that wintry around here. So like I'm not like, it's not a winter wonderland. It's not going to get super cold. In the early mornings, in the 6 a.m., it might get some cold here. Lord Crasher says it was in the 30s today here in Ohio. Yeah. It was in the mid 60s here. And so, yeah, I put my hoodie on when I went for a walk today. And by the end of the walk, I didn't really need the hoodie, but, still happy to have it. All right, yeah, this is also going to be part of the wings here. Going to put some boat parts together. This whole top of this is so dark blue that it's kind of hard to see in my lighting. I have to move a little bit, but we'll figure it out. This just goes like this. Okay, what are we talking about here? We did weather, an update on me, and how I'm feeling. Okay, so wrestling. We've got some frustrating stuff from the world of wrestling. We've got some annoying stuff from the world of wrestling. We've got some, the frustrating and annoying is pretty much the same. We've got some heartbreakers, and we've got some real heartbreakers. I feel like I'm going to have a rant coming on about the frustrating thing, so let's save that for last, and let's start with the... we send all our love to, of course, Adam Page, Hangman Adam Page, who suffered a freak accident in the ring, landed, basically took a clothesline to the face or a lariat to the face that should not have been necessarily to the face, and then landed very poorly because of that. They stopped the match, which certainly you have to assume was not supposed to happen. This was on Tuesday, live in Cincinnati on Dynamite, AEW Dynamite. They stretchered him out. They removed the lower rope to get the stretcher in and out. It was not a planned thing. It did, at one point, seem planned because consummate professional Jon Moxley was like acting like he was just like, oh, well, all right, I guess, dude. Like, he was acting like, oh, I won this way. Like, he was acting, and it was weird. And I was like, well, that's disrespectful if this isn't part of the plan. And it was very clearly not part of the plan. At first, I assumed that this was a planned spot, but it came too early because they were definitely killing time and it felt weird in the moment. And there were a lot of, we cut to, and then nothing happened because they weren't sure what to do, which is a very human thing, and I understand that. So it did feel planned, and it was like, oh, something went wrong, but not this. But then it is very clear, oh, no, this went wrong. He does have movement. He was responsive. He is awake. He gave a thumbs up on the way out. He released a statement, a tweet basically being like, hey, thanks everybody for looking out for me. He certainly will be out for a while, most likely a concussion, but doesn't seem to be more serious than that. At the very least, that is according to statements released, and which we will take as fact. Lashbury says, real glad it's not worse. Yes, I'm very glad that that was not worse. I don't want to see it again because I saw it happen live, and I saw the replays of it, and then people were just like, I'm going to show this on Twitter. And I was just like, what if you didn't? And that was bad, obviously. Today, also announced in a statement through Fightful reporter Sean Ross Sapp, a statement from the Nash family, WWE Hall of Famer, NWO founder Kevin Nash, announced that his son Tristan passed away at the age of 26. And basically they're just like, hey, we ask for your, basically like, be cool and give us time. I have heard Tristan once on the Kevin Nash podcast. I am not a regular listener of Kevin Nash's podcast, but he was just talking about, basically with Tristan, he was just talking about how they almost lost a Hunter Hurst Helmsley, Paul Levesque, who had sudden heart issues, and how they lost Scott Hall. And yeah, Tristan was just starting to appear kind of often on the podcast, Kevin's podcast, and it's completely awful. And obviously, we hope that the family can be together, and that he takes the time he needs to figure out what the fuck this means for his life. And it's fucking tragic. It's awful. 26 is unbelievably young. Well, of course, we don't know the details. And also, just going to put it out there, y'all are adults. Y'all know what's up. Maybe there's some people who are watching who are not adults or don't act like adults. Even if he was a guest on a podcast and is the son of a famous person, and he made the choice to be on that podcast, we are not owed details of what happened. We are never owed anything. But we certainly are never owed details of people's lives, and that sort of thing. It'd be one thing if he was a politician. We expect and we should get a lot of info about our public leaders, our civic leaders, stuff of that nature. Celebrity stuff, I feel like, nah, we don't need to know that shit. I don't care if you care. You don't need that stuff. It's a horrible element of our culture. There will be people who want to know all the details of this that just learned his name today. Didn't know Kevin Nash had a son. But because Kevin Nash is a retired wrestler, they will feel obligated to know what happened. And they will be mad that they don't know. And it's awful that is a unfortunate part of our goddamn society. But yeah, awful. And there's one more wrestling thing. The TMZ effect. Yeah, I mean, look, it's certainly more than that. TMZ is certainly at the forefront of a lot of it. But there was one more thing, and it became what the internet latched onto. A lot of people, because Hangman Adam Page is okay, recovering, the internet was still, thinking about him, but they kind of moved on to the next thing. This is the wrestling internet community. Moved on to its next thing, which is to be mad at Athena, formerly Ember Moon. Before that, Athena signed to AEW, has worked on Rampage and Rampage and Dynamite. Is currently in between things. Has been maybe a threat for a belt, but mostly a friend of the person who is a threat for the belt, and around and kind of in storylines, but not as much. in a match that was taped the previous week but aired, I believe, on Monday on Dark Elevation, which is a YouTube show they have. They tape the matches in advance. Now, if you have not seen this, these are... there occasionally are some competitive matches, but most are what is referred to in the business as a squash match. They are an established star that makes an entrance to the ring, and then they take on the person already in the ring, who is often local talent. And that local talent is there to enhance. It is an enhancement match. They are there to get beat up, maybe get a little offense in, and then they will lose. And they will lose pretty spectacularly. Now, occasionally, they do get their own entrance. Sometimes on these shows, there is somebody who is in the mid-card who is going to lose to somebody higher than them. So it's a known person versus people we know. The Da Vinci brothers, the guys that are like Da Vinci, the twins, they are wrestlers before they became TikTok famous. They performed because they are Canadians and they had their first show on any sort of large company. They got their own entrance because people know who they are. They have more. They have so many TikTok followers. They're young men, but I should point again. Always want to point out, yes, they are involved in wrestling. They were involved in wrestling before they became TikTok famous, and it's just increased their bookings. They're real easy to beat up guys. They're real goofy looking dudes. They can move around and get beat up, and that they have a future in that. So good for them. Anyway, at this show, Ember Moon, we'll call her Athena. She faced local wrestler, and by local I mean the building, the Coca-Cola building in Toronto that they were filming in. She used to work there and concessions when she was young. I had no idea they were wrestlers, so it was kind of confusing when I saw it. And then, nobody talked about it then. Yes, nobody. They made a little bit of press. The thing is, people kind of know they're wrestlers. The Bollywood boys made a bigger splash because they were in WWE once. It's weird. But on TikTok was like, hey, we can watch the guys we know wrestle on YouTube. They were excited about it. Anyway, Ember Moon. I keep calling her Ember Moon because that's where I got to know her as a wrestler. All right. This dark blue is hard for me to see. I might get these wrong, so I'm going to try to get this right. I'm going to try to line this up properly. This looks like it goes like this. I think that's like that. Yeah, all right. I think I'm lining this up correctly. We'll find out if I do it wrong. Yes, I think this is right. Anyway, she faced local wrestler Jody Threat. Jody Threat is not someone name I would expect you to know unless you are local to the Toronto wrestling scene. She, in a previous life before she was a professional wrestler or an independent wrestler on the scene, worked in the concession stands at the very venue. That very venue when it was a different name before it was Coca-Cola. And the crowd knew her. This local crowd, they know Jody Threat. They are cheering for Jody Threat. Now, usually, if you do the hometown crowd thing, you get a pop, but then you act heelish, and then the face, Athena is a good guy wrestler, is a face, is a good girl, whatever. They like her. So her wrestling, eventually you imagine, okay, they'll get settled down, and maybe it'll even be a little 50-50 of people into them, but the audience is going to cheer for Ember when she does some cool moves. No. The audience was just like, boo. Boo to you, Athena. We like Jody Threat. We know the score. We're at a wrestling show. We know that Jody Threat is not going to win this match, but we know her and we like her, so we're going to cheer for her. And so then Athena does something that was fucking cool as hell. People didn't think it was cool as hell in retrospect, but in the moment, I thought, oh, this is fucking fascinating. She switched up the match. She recognized, I need to be the heel. I need to be the bad guy in this match. I got to get aggressive. I can already be aggressive in a good guy way, but I'm going to play the fucking heel here. And I'm going to taunt the crowd a little bit like, oh, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? And I'm going to be a little more aggressive. There is a moment apparently in the match where Jody Threat gets confused about where they are in the spots because some stuff has been improvised a bit. Mostly it's just looking a little more stiff than normal. But she kind of gets confused a little bit. She slips a little bit on a thing. There's a dump to the outside, which people were acting like the dump to the outside was like dangerous, and she lands on her feet. Like, I don't know what to tell you, and then crumbles. It was like safer than landing on her shoulder or her back. I don't know what to tell you, friends. And then Athena's been doing this like drop kick where on the floor where the opponent goes into the guardrail, which it makes a lot of noise because you hit a guardrail, but the other part of it is that Athena does a drop kick and lands on her back on the lightly padded concrete. And it definitely hurts her more. It just looks more impressive. But apparently out of that there was backstage stuff where they were like, hey, this seemed aggressive. Is everything okay? And everyone was just like, yeah, I don't know what do you want? Like, it was safe. It was just, like, more hard-hitting. And then they're like, is there animosity between these people? Then a bunch of people who... And I'm be clear. I have never earned $1 in the business. I have never laced up boots. I have never entered the ring. I've never made $1 as a professional wrestler. I have lost money in comedic wrestling. I've never made $1 in it, okay? I have sold T-shirts for a panel, but we never turn a profit. It's all been invested in future. Maybe someday we'll turn a profit, League of Heels. At this point, I fucking doubt it. But I have never earned $1 in the professional side of the business, right? So I'm making that abundantly clear as I possibly could make that to say, a lot of people talking shit have also never wrestled in their life. And it's like, hey, nobody went after Moxley. Like, nobody's like, Moxley isn't safe. Moxley should drop the belt. They should suspend Moxley. Moxley sent a guy to the hospital. Obviously, it was accidental. Obviously, he did not mean for that to happen. But a guy went to the hospital because of it. And I'm not hearing shit about that from anybody. But, a female wrestler, a black female wrestler, who is the babyface, switched to be heel, put in a little aggressiveness in there. Well, you can't have her around at all. How come she wasn't made an example and wasn't disciplined for this? And, what kind of heat did these people have? Wow. I mean, sure, I guess. Okay. Weird. But the internet was the internet about it. And it fucking sucks because it was pretty damn clear that everything was all right. And it's really frustrating because, like, it's a very good match. And people are just seeing what they want to see when they look at it. And again, never drawn $1 in my life. But even I know that shit was fucking fine. People are being real goddamn weird about it and being fucking, shitty about it in general. And it takes away a lot from the really fun match that they had otherwise. The boat is done, friends. We built the boat. This boat has been completed. I'll show you all the angles here. It looks cool, I think. A little speedboat there. No minifigs with this kit, but there would be no place to put anybody anyway. Not built for minifig scale. But yeah, this is a cool looking boat. And I'm going to take a photo of this boat. I'm going to try to get a side angle of this boat. I got to put a password in, so you don't get to see that. You don't get to see my passcode. Sorry. Boat. Boat. I built a boat. Now I get to disassemble a boat. Will I need this brick separator? I don't know. I'm going to build a helicopter next, so I got my helicopter out. But yeah. It made me mad because Athena deserves better than dumb bullshit that she's getting from people. Lord Crashenden says, Bennett at 69.69. Well, first of all, obviously, nice. But second, nice. But second of all, I'm not telling anybody anything. You'll never know. So I am going to attempt to remove all these parts. We're going to break this kit down, and then we're going to start the helicopter. And I will try to speed through this. I won't do a full null of setting everything up, but I have to completely disassemble and then by color separate these parts, and we'll get into the helicopter here. This should not be a difficult process, and luckily I can do other things while that is happening. The hardest part is going to be stuff like this, where it's small little layers here. These pop these off very easily, but some of the other parts are going to be a little harder to get off there. Like this, a one-on-one, I can do it like this, but that doesn't really, it kind of works there because it hasn't set. The other way to do this, which I'll show you here, which I might have to, is you can take something like this here, put it in there, and then if you just do it like that, you can pop it off. Get a little pressure, and it pops off. It's very helpful for something like this. And then just separate by color, maybe know a little bit here. It's easy enough to do. Get these all together so I know where they are. All right, other things that I want to talk about tonight. Next Tuesday stream, Jackbox Party Pack 9. Party Pack 9 came out today. Received a code, which I'm very grateful for. So we are going to play Jackbox Party Pack 9 on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be playing Jackbox Party Pack 9. There are 3 games that do not involve talking in person. And so we will be playing those 3 games. Hey, Xandra, welcome. Happy to have you here, my friend. If you're not already, let's do the shout out command. Because if you're not already following Xandra, please do. Xandra made all of my emotes and is also awesome. So let's see. Shout out. They added an actual shout out command. You don't have to do the. Let's see. Yeah. This should do it. There we go. I gave a shout out. They actually made it a thing you can do in commands instead of having to use a third party, which is fun. Yes, it's a silent thing. It just appeared in the commands. And then in your activity feed on your dashboard, it should pop up as a thing that happened. So you can give a shout out to somebody who is, if they're in their dashboard, they will see it in your activity feed on your dashboard. Also, Dirty wants me to drink some water, which I will. Yeah, that's a new thing. And they didn't announce it. It just happened. Someone did it to me one day and it showed up in my activity feed and I was like, wait, that's a new command? Cool. Thank you for using that button there. Also, hi, Dirty. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, okay. And then Lord Crashton wants me to hit the dance button, which I will. Thank you for using your channel points. Dance a little bit. I got my pep back a little bit because of my illness, post-illness, but I don't have a lot of pep in my step, so. Bam, 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 bam. I really like that guitar. Wow. We had to hit that part. Xandra, I got a bad cold, and I have not had a cold in a very long time. But yeah, I had a cold. And Monday I was powering through it, and we did the stream. And then by the end of the stream, my voice was just like, "What are you doing?" And then yesterday and Tuesday did not really have a voice. Canceled my Tuesday stream, which is okay. It happens. I don't like canceling streams, but I also didn't want to do a silent stream I would even do a no cam stream for if I was playing a video game. I wouldn't mind that, but I don't want to do a no mic stream. That feels weird because then it would just be people watching me play Pokemon without talking. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I did not stream on Tuesday. I'm feeling much better. Been taking cold medicine, been sleeping a lot. My voice is not 100%, but it's fine. So yeah, I'm doing all right. But yeah, we are disassembling this boat because we built the boat and now we need to take it apart so we can build a helicopter, which is that's a fun thing about Lego that sentence. We took apart a boat, or I'm taking apart a boat and then we're going to build a helicopter. We just get to do that. Ironhide the Fourth is in here saying, why do ghosts like to ride in elevators? It lifts their spirits. It does. And then we got a raid from Bad Gunpla coming in with a party of 10. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Let's go over here to the, we'll go to this one. Hi, everybody. My name is Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good time. If I remember correctly, what was happening tonight for old Bad Gunpla did not involve Gunpla, but it did involve you making Jason play football manager, if I saw that correctly, and I apologize if I did not see that correctly. We'll go give a shout out to Bad Gunpla there. But I believe that you, maybe not you, the person who came along in this raid, but you, the Discord of Jason, was like, hey, you should do this. And I believe that was happening tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope that was fun. We'll go back to the overhead here. But, I'm Pat Baer. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. If you like what you see, I build Lego sets and model kits. We're working on the LEGO Supersonic 3-in-1. The Supersonic Jet, I should say. We just finished building the boat a couple minutes ago. So you're going to watch me take apart a boat so that I can put together a helicopter. And then eventually we'll build the jet. We haven't even gotten close to building the jet yet. 3-in-1s, if you're unfamiliar. It kind of describes it by the name. You get 3 booklets. You don't get enough parts for all 3 kits, but you get enough parts to build each of the 3 kits, and then you can disassemble and rebuild it. They don't use all the parts. Like these very cool flame parts here are just for the jet. Like they don't go in the boat. And they don't go in the helicopter. I don't think your helicopter should be shooting flames, but I think your jet can. A jet engine certainly could. So they don't use all the parts, but the main one usually uses every part that comes with it. That is correct. Jason did manage a soccer team, and it wasn't a disaster. Not that I doubted him, of course. Well, that's good. I'm glad it wasn't a disaster. So, obviously, folks that came from Jason's stream are aware. Bad Gunpla. Jason builds some plammo that is sometimes questionable in its gooditude, but there's that. There's enjoying the this is a weird thing that Jason's putting together, and the same way of sometimes it's fun to watch somebody figure out a video game that they don't have the context for. It's not always fun to watch someone just be unhappy, right? I know that there are audience members out there that enjoy the frustration, the overacting, disappointment in what am I doing right now. I understand that there are people out there like that. I don't enjoy that particular brand of entertainment myself. I genuinely, if I like the person, want them to have a good time. There is a streamer that I watch who streams Hearthstone. And sometimes RNG causes him, just random stuff, random generated things, causes him to lose. And he does not take it well. And that's when I usually bow out of the stream. When he is having a good time, I am having a good time. It is very clear when he is very frustrated and unhappy with what he is doing. And I hope that things get better, but I don't want to be around it. Because I'm just nah, dude, you don't have to pretend you're having a great time. But I don't need to watch you have a bad time. I'm going to, hold on. Oh. I thought I was going to sneeze, friends. I did not sneeze. So we're winning there. All right, we have other things to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about anime in the second hour because we talk about anime on the streams. Let's see. We talked about some wrestling stuff earlier. I'll quickly go through... I'll go through some stuff about Silent Hill and Resident Evil, because there was a Resident... I don't know why, but my Twitter feed was more interested in yesterday's Silent Hill announcements from Konami than they were interested in the Resident Evil showcase that happened today, because I didn't know there was a Resident Evil showcase happening until it happened. We'll go through both. There's not a lot to say about either, and I'm not in a place to talk about... I haven't played a Resident Evil in a long time, but they had the showcase. There's a expansion for Village, which you're playing as Rose, the daughter, which sounds like it could be fun. One's been starved for content when the other hasn't. Totally, Lord Crash. I guess that is it. Also, people were like, how bad is this? What if the Silent Hill thing is just like NFTs? What if it's just like NFTs and skateboard decks, and it's like not actual games? Because some people were like, does Konami have it in them to actually do a whole showcase about Silent Hill that doesn't involve any video games? It did. Spoiler. Anyway, you're going to play as Rose, and they were like, hey, this is why, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, nose is a little runny here. Then there is Reverse, which is the coming out this month. It is the multiplayer shooter, Resident Evil Reverse. Yeah, Ghost Valve, I think you're warranted to be pessimistic when it comes to Silent Hill. Let's see. It's an online shooter. It's still coming out. It'll be free if you have Village or the Village Gold Edition, which is cool. And it's gonna have crossplay, which sounds great. And they're like, there'll be updates. Please believe us. There'll be updates. I was like, okay. Resident Evil Village is coming to Mac. Past games are getting the Switch Cloud versions, which is cool. And then they showed a trailer and some gameplay of the Resident Evil 4 remake, and pre-orders are out there. And one thing that some people noticed from this new footage is you can no longer save the dog. So cancel your pre-orders. There was a point where in the original you could choose to help a dog that was caught in a bear trap. And now when you get there, that dog is not savable. And that's nonsense. I understand taking the dog out, but the idea that they're like, no. Like, was it somebody's big regret from the first version of 4? Where they're always like, if I could do it all again, I wouldn't have it where you could save a dog. What? What the fuck? Lord Crash did it. It's just a weird move. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm being a bit facetious in the fact that I think it's a risky move, but I do think it's a dumb move. I think it's a silly move. Yeah, I don't know. Seems weird. And then they got more stuff. Yeah. Get it out. Okay. So yeah, that was today's event from Capcom. Just about all the Resident Evil stuff. Now, Konami premiered their YouTube video, but also uploaded the video, it was a live stream on YouTube that premiered, but also the video was just available. So before it officially went up, the premiere, you could just watch the video and scrub through it. I don't understand. They make games and they pay people to do things, and I don't understand how that got fucked up like it did, but it got fucked up. So people were just like, great, I know what your one more thing is. Cool. And then you just saw the people who like recap stuff on YouTube or on Twitter just posting screenshots that they were taking. So you've got a remake, a movie, more new games. Hey, Xenogears, welcome. We're talking about all of the many Silent Hill announcements from Konami. Konami, they make and produce video games. Xenogears says Bad Gunpla host to you, and I didn't notice. Yes, thanks for coming on the Bad Gunpla raid. Yes, we got raided by Jason not too long ago, about 10 minutes ago. So welcome. Happy to have you here. All right, so Bloober Team, they make horror games with jump scares, and they, without getting into spoilers, because these are games that I have not consumed because I'm not one for horror games, but I do know that Bloober Team's reputation is that they are not great about mental illness at all. And obviously, insane asylum tropes, mental illness as the reason for, oh, this person's inner demons have become actual demons. Like, that shit's out there. It's nothing new. They didn't invent the wheel. But they just seem like they don't fucking give a shit about people's actual health, and that sucks. Just from a human standpoint, seems pretty shitty to me. Anyway, they're handling this the Silent 2 remake, which PC on Steam, PlayStation 5, and it will be a console exclusive on PlayStation 5 for a year, for 12 months, and then most likely will show up on Xbox. And one would have to assume it will be Game Pass day one. That's going to be my guess. So it'll be 1 year later, it'll show up on Game Pass. That is my prediction. But it's definitely console exclusive for a year. Which is weird. It's not bad, but it's not great. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a remake, so hopefully it still has a lot of the stuff that people love. Because as far as I can tell, there are Silent Hill fans and there are Silent Hill 2 fans. And they are obviously Silent Hill fans, but that's their Silent Hill. Like, when they think of Silent Hill, they don't think of, like, Homecoming. They think of Silent Hill 2. So I hope those fans have a good time playing this game. Then we got Town Hall, Silent Hill Town Hall, which is done by Series Untold and Observation Maker. Oh, yeah, the people that made Observation No Code. And Annapurna is also producing it. So there's going to be more about that. Then there's Return to Silent Hill, which is a new film, which is the director, Christopher Gans, who made the 2006 Silent Hill, which I have heard nothing good about, is making the sequel, which seems... I feel like you just do a new Silent Hill movie. If you're going to do a Silent Hill movie, you don't do a sequel to a movie that people didn't think was good, but I don't know, maybe it's secretly awesome. They haven't even cast that shit, so they're just getting it out there. And then you have Silent Hill Ascension, which is a real-time interactive series. And a bunch of people are working on that. Bad Robot Games, Dead by Daylight, Developer Behavior, DJ2 Entertainment. Players watch together as the story plays out. So that sounds like they're making their own of those, like, Until Dawn. They're making their own Until Dawn, right? That's what it seems like. Which is like, I mean, probably a good idea. People make good ideas, you should take them. Sure. And then there is another new Silent Hill game called Silent Hill F. And it is set in Japan. And it's fucking written by the guy that did... It is written by a visual novel specialist, is what Eurogamer calls him, a specialist. The guy that created Hirogashi When They Cry is making a Silent Hill game. And that's... Yeah, it's the Higurashi writers, Andra. Yes, yeah. That's like... very it's too on the nose. If you're like, hey, we're going to make a Silent Hill game set in 1960s Japan, and we're going to get the guy that wrote the visual novels that later have anime adaptations about the fucked up 60s or 70s, 50s, I think it's a 50s town, the weird town where demonic shit and dimensional rifts and time warps happen, where little kids become evil depending on what universe you're in and what timeline you're in, and murder each other. Let's get that guy to make our Silent Hill. Also, the director of it has worked on Nintendo games, and it's weird. I gotta dig that up. I gotta dig up the tweet because that shit was wild. That was the thing that made me go, "Oh, all right." Someone look that up. That was last night. Somebody tweeted that out. Who the director was. So just give me a minute to find my tweet from last night where I talk about that shit. Let's see. We're gonna hit. I just gotta delete. I gotta delete a tweet here. So sorry. I retweeted somebody and they deleted the original, so I'm deleting my retweet. Okay. The producer of Silent Hill F is Okamoto, Morio Okamoto, who was previously at Nintendo and worked on games such as Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin 1 and 2, and more. And then there's a link. So the producer of this game left Nintendo. He worked on Pikmin, Luigi's Mansion. He was a programmer on Wind Waker and Pikmin 2. He wrote Pikmin. And he was the director of Wii Play. And he was the minigame director of Super Mario 64 for the DS. And the training director, I don't know what that means, for Wii Fit. He worked on Wii Fit and Wii Play, and now he's producing Silent Hill F. And literally, his game credits on Moby Games are all Nintendo games. He got a special thanks in Mario Sunshine. So he's just got Nintendo games, and now he is producing Silent Hill F. And that's some weird-ass shit. It's very weird. Just wonderful nonsense. Just cool, weird nonsense coming out there. All right, we got to build a helicopter. But anyway, I am sorry for my friends that really care about, very, very much care about Silent Hill. I am happy they're getting new games. I am sorry they are getting, the remake is being done by Bloober Team. Hopefully, Bloober Team will be cool with the original stuff and not Bloober Team it up. Because I know plenty of people that seem to very much dislike that studio's output. So, I don't know. And I'm not just talking about Voidburger, who is the person I know who likes Silent Hill the most of any people I know, but is not the only person I know that likes Silent Hill. I do know other people that really like Silent Hill and that are, like, at some point they're just relieved. I already mentioned this, but at some point people were just like, oh, it wasn't like a bunch of NFTs, and they were video games. They are going to put video, like, what if they just announced a movie and like we're doing a TV show on Amazon and we're doing a mobile game and that's it. And it was just like, you know, there were fans who were like expecting just that and not even the remake, the much rumored remake. So good for them. A little bit more tech news. Just throw some technology news there. Kids show for Disney Plus. Yes, I'm most interested in the one by the studio that made Observation. Yeah, Townfall. That might be interesting. That was the one that seems like it's many ways off. I think I'm most interested in the Until Dawn alike. Like, I think that could be cool. The FMV rotoscoping, not really either of those things, but kind of like choose your own adventure, couch co-op by means of passing the controller or yelling at each other kind of thing in a Silent Hill setting could be cool. That could be interesting. That is something I would watch people play on a live stream. You know, that sounds interesting. Yeah. Netflix to expand into cloud gaming opens a studio in South California. I did not see a lot of people talking about this. As you may know, if you have Netflix, you can play mobile games, and they have some exclusives. They have some timed exclusives. if you have you just basically log in with you have to have the Netflix app open and your account logged in, and then you can like play games on just like yeah, you can just play games if you want, uh which is weird, but yeah. Let's see. They're gonna get into cloud gaming, and they opened a gaming studio. uh This is like right after Stadia is shutting down, but obviously that technology is interesting. Netflix seems to be pretty into the whole gaming thing. There's also the thing where they're going to start cracking down on shared like passwords and shared accounts. That's coming. That's coming for Netflix. That's their big money making or money saving operation, and that seems bad. Uh, and basically, they're like, we don't think there's going to be like a controller or anything, but you can just like play. But they also, I guess, they already have a studio. I mean, they have purchased some studios. Um, let's see. And hey, if you wondered who's heading that up, it's Chaco Sony. Sonny. I'm sorry, not Sonny. Sony. Sonny. Chaco Sonny, former executive producer on Overwatch. Sonny left last year, and people were like, "Hey, what's going on?" And we didn't know. Now we know. If you're wondering what happened to Chaco, that's where Chaco is. Let's see. They have just like a bunch of games that are in development, and some of them are experience games, and some of them are IP stuff, and some of them are sequels. They have 14 titles in development right now, which seems like a lot of games in development. But it does feel weird that they're like, we're cracking down on shared accounts, and also we're investing in video games and cloud gaming. And you're like, all right, that doesn't sound like movies or TV at all, but sure. I think you're just like, yeah, gaming's big. Great. That worked out really well for G4. Condolences to folks affected by that. Just real rough. Anything else before we take a pause for the cause? That's coming. I'll talk to you about ways you can support the channel. We'll hang out a little bit, talk about that, then we'll get into some anime. I think I'll save that conversation for another time. So, let's see. Okay. This weekend, I will be jackboxing with some people. I'm looking forward to that. And I played yesterday. Played a bunch of Gundam Evolution, which I really enjoyed. Hey, welcome, Ash. Happy to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Working on some Lego. Working on a helicopter right now. Putting together some parts. Early stages of this helicopter. We already built the boat, and then we disassembled that boat. And now we're putting together a helicopter, and then we'll disassemble a helicopter. What was I going to say? Yeah, I played some Gundam Evolution. I liked what I played. I do not want to be into a Overwatch-like, because I played a lot of Overwatch. But I do want to play video games with my friends. Also, I guess I'm going to try Marvel Snap, because I didn't try Marvel Snap. I got invited to try Marvel Snap when it was in its beta for a little limited time. But the monetization seemed so garbage that I was like, nah, I think I'm good. And here's what happened, folks. Now, this hasn't made the news for everybody, because some people still only remember information about it, which is the issue with doing a beta like that, a beta where people could watch streamers stream it. They took out all that bullshit monetization and refunded people and gave them their money back. And they just took that shit out. And it doesn't have a terrible... I mean, it's still a free-to-play game with monetization stuff, but it's not as egregious and awful like it was. It's way better. And I wish I didn't know that, because now I'm like, am I going to get into a fucking Marvel card game? Am I going to like play Ben Brode's new card game? And the answer is I think I am, because I know a bunch of people that really like it. Yeah, bad news for Jan, says Lord Cratch did. But like, I already play one card game. Am I going to play another? I'm not done with the one I'm playing. Did the Nick Fury commercials for Marvel Snap sell you on playing it? The first one, I was like, hey, what? And then I was like, oh, no. I'm going to deal with this. Like, oh, shit. I guess I'm probably going to play that video game. So it did help a little bit. Ash is asking, has anyone done a Jackbox stream from Jack in the Box? I don't know. I have to imagine that someone has done. I'll say this. I bet there are people that have played You Don't Know Jack in a Jack in the Box parking lot. I feel like that is a given. That someone has done You Don't Know Jack. Maybe even like the old versions of You Know Jack on like a laptop. I bet that has happened. But I really don't know if anyone has played any Jackbox Party Pack games like inside a Jack in the Box. It's possible, though. Now, do I think some like YouTuber with way too much money has built a fake ass looking Jack in the Box, like an actual physical Jack in the Box, and streamed from inside it to play Jackbox? I feel like somebody with more money than sense has done that. I feel like that probably exists, and if it doesn't, I mean, they can have that idea because it's bad and I don't have the money to do it. They could just have that bad idea that I just told you all about. But I feel like somebody's probably built like a big old fake ass Jack in the Box. Maybe a working one, I don't know. And play Jackbox inside of a Jack in the Box. I'm sure somebody's done that. Because it's a bad idea. And I feel like people with money and time just always do bad ideas like that. It's so hard to see this blue. This blue is very hard to see when it's on top of other blue. Just for me and this lighting in this room. Very difficult. Anyway, I'm going to finish this one step here, and then we're going to take a pause for the calls. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel, because I always have to do that. I got to do my ad reads. And by ad reads, I mean me talking to you about stuff. And then we'll talk about some anime that I've been watching. And various other things. Talk a little more about some gaming. Talk about games I'm going to be playing probably this weekend. We'll talk about other stuff that you've been watching and playing and all that other stuff. All those good things that we do on a Thursday. I need two. Is this dark grays? Yeah, these are dark grays. All right. We are now on step 16 of this helicopter. And we are going to take a pause for the calls. So, this is the point of the stream where I will talk to you about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. All of the things that I'm going to talk to you about are optional. You don't have to do any of these things. Sorry, wait a second. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you would like to, you're more than welcome to. First and foremost, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes, all made by our friend Xandra. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here through $5 a month cash money or your Prime Gaming token. If you Amazon Prime, you link it with your Twitch, you get that token, and you can use it for a streamer. Please use it for me. We are currently at 33 out of 40 subscribers. The goal is always to get to 40 subscribers. So we would love for you to be a subscriber here. Maybe you want to give the sub to Xandra, and so Xandra has access to the emotes that they've designed. Or you could just gift it to a random person. You could do it anonymously. You could do it and take credit. If you do it and take credit, you join the gift sub leaderboard. We got a Aristafan with one gift sub there. We also, cheering is certainly encouraged. You could cheer. Bits and coins, always appreciated. And that's the easiest way, because you're already here on Twitch. You probably already have a credit card attached to your Twitch account. You already subscribed to some other people. If you wanted to subscribe to me, your friend Pat, you could do that, but you don't have to, obviously. There are other ways to support what I do here. Some financial ways to support me. I got a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1 a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. And there are different rewards for the different tiers. Take a look at it. Consider becoming a subscriber or a patron over on patreon.com/PatBear. Yeah, there's different rewards. There might be something that works for you. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. You can subscribe for free. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do. And if you think you might want to support me financially there, maybe that's where you want to have your money go. $2 a month, you can become a member. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, so you get a day before other people. And also, it's just another way to support me, and maybe you have some money tied up in there. You want to do that. I don't know. You can do that. You'll probably get some kind of benefit if I ever live stream on YouTube, which I don't think I would. But maybe someday, if Twitch is down when I want to stream, I'll go to YouTube. I don't know. I don't imagine I would do it, but maybe I would. And then also, just like a one-time donation. If you just want to help me out like one time, you could do that with some monies through Coffee or PayPal or Stream Elements. And when you're on my Coffee site, if you want, you can look at that on Ko-Fi or Coffee. I do have a goal there that is unrelated to this. You can take a look at that goal. I won't promote that here. That's just a side thing that's happening that I'm, asking for a little help there. That's unrelated because everything else goes to a fund where I buy model kits. That's Coffee, Stream Elements, and PayPal to direct support that way, the one-times. YouTube also includes AdSense, so watching my videos and watching the ads, that helps me out. Patreon and Twitch. Everything I make through all of those goes into a fund, and I take money out of the fund and I buy model kits and I buy equipment. This Lego set that I'm building right now was purchased off my Amazon wish list. I could not get that without your support. I purchased this for myself off that wish list. It was on that wish list. I had some money from your generous support, and I was like, I'm getting it. So I got it. Now, speaking of a wish list, if you want to buy something on there, it jumps the queue. It becomes the next thing I build. It doesn't go, I don't reach into my backlog and I pick something from there. I buy the thing that I build the thing that you bought. Trying to change that up a little bit, and I'm jumping over my words. The next thing I'm going to be building, most likely, because it'll arrive on Saturday, it looks like, or Sunday, is I got a Zabungle kit. Zabungle is an anime from like 1981, but I got the Proteus kit from Zabungle, so I'm going to build a kit from the anime Zabungle that was purchased off my Amazon wish list, and I don't know who bought it yet. But I'm looking forward to being able to stream on Saturday or Monday or whenever the next time it is that I can work on a kit. And then I'll just be able to say out loud, and of course, we're working on the Proteus kit from Zabungle. I'm just so excited about saying Zabungle. But I've got Lego sets. I've got high-grade kits, master-grade kits, inexpensive kits, model kits, very expensive kits, kits that are on sale, kits that have free Prime shipping, equipment at the bottom. If you buy anything from that, like I said, I shoot a dedicated video about the thing you bought, and then also it'll jump the queue if you buy a model kit or a Lego set or something like that. So take a look, see if there's anything there. Yeah, Xander, it's with an X, but it's Zabungle. Zabungle is a robot anime. The kit I'm building kind of feels like it's a bunch of pyramids shoved together. The Proteus kit, I'll bring up a photo of it. I have a photo here somewhere here on a drive. So let me just whip up this photo here. Where is the kit? Here. This is the Prometheus. My apologies. This is the Prometheus. This is the box for the Prometheus kit from Zabungle. There's the Prometheus type. It looks like you split a pyramid in half and then shoved it on a robot. But you can see Zabungle. That's the anime that kit is from. That is the mobile suit, the WM Prometheus type. That's like a $10 kit. It's going to be a quick build. If a transformer fucked up its transformation, is what Lord Crashington says, and I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, it's like it's one of those morphs It's one of those Animorph things. This is like the middle of the Animorph. It gone from being a pyramid to like a robot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to build that at some point. That's coming in the mail. Happy Meal toy looking guy. Okay. But anyway, somebody bought that off my Amazon wish list, and I can't wait to build that thing. It's coming in the mail like sometime, and it will be a thing I build in the near future because it was bought off my wish list. I can't wait to find out. Bought that. Okay, also, I have a Throne wish list, which is more curated. Throne is great because they really go out of their way to protect the people out there, their addresses, their location, their real birth names, or whatever. They are great for people that do entertainment of a more adult variety, but also they have no problem helping out people who don't do that, like me, your friend Pat. So check out that wish list because it's more curated. It also has like some gift cards and stuff, which you don't get a great deal on those gift cards, but I would like them. And let's see, what else we got? Oh, you could just go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They'll send you an email with the gift card code. And then if you wanted to, you could just send me the gift card code in like a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open. And you could do that. I have a Discord. If you want to join my Discord, I post build photos. People, I would say right now, the majority of my Discord is people promoting themselves, which is fine. And then sometimes people do emotes around like photos that people post. And that's kind of fun too. Or emojis or whatever. Let's see. A couple of video links for you to check out. I will have a new video up on Monday. But right now, you can check out the latest Pat Bear's Anime Club. Where I try to like answer the question that I'm posing, which is, will the next big thing in anime be the action subgenre banished, kicked? The kicked from the hero's party, banished from town, banished by your family, main character who was either hiding things or people didn't understand, or in the process of being banished, it turns out they're great. We've got Beast Tamer this season. Last year we had banished to the country, banished from the hero's party, the hero or whatever moved to the countryside. It's a very long title. We've had a couple of those, but we haven't had like a lot of them yet. And there are so many manga and light novels about that I think could be the next big thing. So I kind of talked about it in the video. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series where every week I hastily do some... Can't wait to read Banished from my job because I didn't meet expectations. Yeah. And then it turns out you're actually the main character is very good at their job. And the department falls apart. Do You Remembaer? Ongoing video series where I read through a Wikipedia page and then try to remember everything I read and be informative. And I talked about Ocean Spray because I saw a tweet about Ocean Spray and how they are a cooperative, and they have been a cooperative for their entire length of being Ocean Spray. They're a cooperative of cranberry farmers, like bog farmers. And I was like, oh. And so I read the Wikipedia page, and turns out most of the issues that like 2020 was I just keep saying 2020 was a really weird year for Ocean Spray. They had like their best ever positive, like out of nowhere buzz. And also they had to like fire a CEO. So like it's been hit or miss for them. But I talked about it, hastily did some research on Ocean Spray cooperative. And so check that video out if you haven't yet, because I think it's one of my best of the year for that. All right, we're going to talk about some anime, because anime is always happening, and this season is bumping. So we'll talk about that. I need to drink some water, so we're going to do that too, and we will dramatically transition to the overhead, and I will continue to build this model kit, or this Lego set, I should say, right now. Very helpful. In fact, we are now going to take one more second here. I'm going to mute my mic for a second and blow my nose, and we'll be right back in 1 second. Okay, hold on. All right, now we'll go back to the overhead. There we are. Hi. Sorry about that. I don't want you to hear me or see me blow my nose. That's not weird. It's actually normal. But that is how I'm feeling about that one. All right, let's build a helicopter and talk about some anime here. And of course, thanks everybody for hanging out. Let's get into it right now. Here's the anime that we're talking about. We've got Do It Yourself, Reincarnated as a Sword, and Doomsday with My Dog. You're like, Pat, where is Chainsaw Man? Where is Mob Psycho Season 3? Those are shows that exist on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because that's the days you're talking about. Why aren't you talking about those anime? And it's because I'm watching them. I mean, I didn't even watch Mob this week. I'm watching them on my own schedule right now, and I'm not talking about them every time. Xandra's been enjoying the Reincarnated as a Sword manga. Okay, cool. Well, we'll talk about that when we get there. But I think you would like the anime. And in fact, Xandra, I think you would like Do It Yourself. Do It Yourself is a girls doing things. It's the subgenre, the slice of life subgenre about what happens when a bunch of girls like a thing and do the thing together. It's one of those. Now, I should say, we are in episode 3. They have built some stuff, and they are talking about tools, but it has not gotten super technical about this DIY club. It has not gotten as technical as you would like. It's a little more character-focused than some of these shows, some of these other shows in the genre are. Like, I don't think you're going to get, like, the same level of depth as, like, you learn a lot about camping and the woods and outdoor stuff in, like, laid-back camp. Like, there's, like, episodes dedicated to, like, the different kinds of sleeping bags that you could purchase, that kind of thing, right? We're not getting that detailed right now in the DIY club. We might get there. Right now, it's more about these people coming together because classic plot, right? This girl, our main character, Serafu, Yua Serafu, so her first name is Serafu. Serafu, like, discovers that her new high school has a DIY club. And the only upperclassman in the DIY club helped her out. What is her name again? Yasuka. Yasuka helped her out. And then she was like, cool. It's like, actually, this club is going to close if we don't have enough members. So they're on a membership drive. So first episode, just one member. And then you get Serafu. Second episode, they get a girl who's a quiet, mousy girl who's never really had friends. But instantly, Serafu is just like, we are friends now. And then she's never, like, done a craft project, but because she's a diligent young lady, she, like, figures it out. And also, she does something and gets praised for doing a good job and just fucking rides that high of, like, oh, I accomplished something and then people thought it was good. Oh, and it's like, and you're like, oh, yay. Serafu is great because she is very absent-minded and clumsy, and every episode, she's literally been to the school nurse every day, who is also, helpfully, the teacher assigned to the club. She is the club advisor, which is helpful. Anyway, this episode centers around the new girl in school. We don't learn her name until the end of the episode, but I will say her name now because it is wild, because this show is wild about names. I should first start with Yua Serafu. Serafu is her first name. We call her Serafu here. Yua Serafu. It is like a Japanese person trying to say yourself. Because DIY stands for do it yourself. Serafu learned it was DIY, and then she tries to tell people that because she's really happy about that her name is yourself. And everyone's just like, we know what DIY stands for. She did not. But yeah, she is like very happy to find out that her name is yourself. Also, that her next door neighbor, her name, her nickname, and her last name together sound like 3D printer because she's the technology expert. Because there's like the regular girls' school, and then there's like the vocational technical school. Anyway, I'm now going to tell you the name of the 12-year-old genius from America that shows up, who is rich and smart and should have been going to the vocational school, but didn't end up getting into the vocational school. and we don't know why she's at this school. We learned at the end of the episode that her full name is Juliet Queen Elizabeth VIII. She apparently does not like that name. And so she is given the nickname because Seraphoo loves giving people nicknames. She gives her the nickname of oh god, I wrote it down. Jobko. 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 She's Jobko-chan. Because in English, because she speaks English, our friend Juliet Queen Elizabeth VIII has said in English, good job, a couple times. And we know, they don't know this, but we know that when she was doing stuff with her mom, who taught her DIY, her mom would be like, good job. So that name means, so Jobco means a lot to her. Because they're like, you just said, come on, that's just that's not a nickname. You just said like a couple words. But apparently, from now on, that's our friend Jobco. Juliet Queen Elizabeth VIII, forget that name. Her name is Jobco. Anyway, I thought she was from Denmark with all the sunflowers in her flashback scene. So, it's totally possible that she, could be half Scandinavian. But it is definitely implied that she is American. I should also point out that this is not a thing happened that will not affect, the dub will be fine. If they dub this series, it'll be fine. But because I'm watching the subtitled version, I need to tell you that she speaks American English with a Japanese accent because the voice actress is Japanese. And that there's no way around it, and it's fine, and you just have to have suspension of disbelief that this girl who is struggling, she can speak Japanese, but she is struggling with written Japanese. She's trouble reading and writing in Japanese, which is why she's at that school. She fucked up and applied to the wrong school because they are somewhat similar in their katakana, or kanji, pardon me, kanji. So, I don't know if it's gonna work out that this girl is gonna... And her mom in the flashback also has a Japanese accent. Because she's supposedly an exchange student. And it's weird that she is an exchange student that has a Japanese accent in her English words. It's gonna be fucking fine when they... if they do a dub of this show. I don't know if they're doing a dub, but it'll be fine because then it'll just be, they'll have to figure out another way to make it work. But every time Jobco speaks English, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Anyway, she's pretty tsundere. There's a whole thing about her arguing. Look, she joins the club. At the end of the day, this is a 12-year-old girl who doesn't have any friends and isn't used to Japan at all. And the first people she latches onto, she can't bring herself to be honest because is she tsundere? Yeah, kind of. But she's mostly just 12 and and smart. But being smart has not prepared her for this. And also lonely, alone. And just kind of lost. But she is now joining the DIY club. They still need to have more members. We're going to get more members. It was a cute episode. I really like this show. It's very fun and charming. It is one of two anime that I'm watching this season about girls doing stuff. The other one being doing fun stuff. The other one being, what is the name of that novice show? Yes. Management of a Novice Alchemist is the other show that I am watching. Management of a Novice Alchemist is on High Dive, and that is a good girl just trying her best running an alchemy shop on the frontier, and has way more action scenes than I was expecting, but mostly is going to be her and her new girlfriends doing fun stuff and hanging out. Also, a big bonus about do-it-yourself and novice alchemist is management of a novice alchemist is neither have had any queer baiting yet, which is great because that has unfortunately been a big trend in girls doing stuff. The girls doing stuff genre has been the two characters who are definitely not queer, but what if they were? But they're not, and they're not going to be. But there'll be some innuendo about it. Ugh. So we haven't had that in either of these shows. Will it be there? I don't know. But right now, it's not, and that's great. So as I continue to work in this helicopter, I will talk to you about... Dirty also loves... Yes. There is a... Serafu has 3 pets. A dog named Pochi, a cat named Tama, and a pig named Meat. And you're like, why is the pig named Meat? Well, it's because one of the jokes is this little pig is they eat a lot of pork in that house. They consistently eat pork. And that pig knows what pork is and is freaked out. And it's weird. And that is a gag. It's not just that the pig is named Meat and wears sunglasses, which is great. Is that a running gag in that show is that pig is constantly freaked out about the fact that they eat pig in that house. They eat pork in that house. That is a fun gag. Anyway, Reincarnated as a Sword is the story about a little cat girl named Fran and a guy who got reincarnated as a sword that is a magic sword and their adventures together. Fran, who is a clear best girl candidate for 2022 because she's just trying so hard and she just wants to and her big traits is she wants to help people. She wants to elevate her tribe of cat people, of beast cats, and she really likes it when people agree with her that her sword is awesome because her sword she calls Teacher. He doesn't have a name, so she calls him Teacher. She's very psyched when people think that he is a cool sword because she knows he is a cool sword. So let's see. What else happens here? We met a dwarf in this episode, and he's just like, hey, I'm a well-known dwarf. And a blacksmith, I can make you some armor. And like, hey, just so you know, your sword is fucking cool as hell. I could tell that it has a consciousness. I'm that good. I could not make a sword better than your sword. And one of the reasons he's so good is because he is feeding off of the mana inside of Fran. So he will become even more powerful in the future. And he's like, I couldn't make that sword. And then like Teacher's like, hey, make a scabbard for me because I'm just wrapped up. And they're like, okay. And they get some food, and Fran like has like a room in an inn and has like a bed to sleep in and great food, and she can't like wait to have even better food made by our guy, and because this is like the best her life has ever been. She just wants to get really strong and keep living with her master. And he's just like, and she eventually wants to evolve because maybe a cat person can evolve. They've never seen it, but she wants to do it and prove that it's possible. It's kind of like a long-term goal of hers. And our guy Teacher, the sword, is just like, hey, you know what? I think I was brought here. I think I was reincarnated as a sword to look after Fran. And it's like, it's sweet. It's a nice little thing. Let's see. Let's see. Elsewhere, there were some goblins that had gotten killed in the last episode. They evolve into hobgoblins. And then Fran is gathering some herbs, and she rescues some adventurers whose names I didn't write down. My apologies. And then they're like... So she defeats those hobgoblins, and they're like, hey, there are goblins evolved in hobgoblins. They don't just do that on their own. There might be there's probably a goblin queen. Oh, no, sorry. There's probably a goblin king. And if you can find a goblin queen, then there's going to be a bunch of hobgoblins, and it could, like, really fuck things up. And Fran's like, all right, I am going to go defeat that nest, and I'm going to go by myself. To which Teachers is like, hey, you have to, like, look after yourself. And that is Fran's. Fran got power, and she has responsibility, but she doesn't have, like, a sense of self-preservation that she should definitely have. And so our teacher is worried about that, and we'll see what happens in the next episode as far as that goes. But this is the part where I say, Reincarnated to Sword is my favorite isekai this season. Am I watching a lot of isekai this season? No. Is there a lot of isekai out this season? No, not really. But this one is my favorite of the season. Because I'm watching this, and I'm watching I'm the Villainous, so I'm Taming the Final Boss, which is just moving so quickly. And I'm watching Welcome to Demon School Irma-kun, who the author of the manga, Welcome to Demon School Irma-kun, says that it's not an isekai, but I think it is. And so I count it as one, because I think the demon world is not the same as the human world, and that it counts. But yeah, the anime is great. Xandra, the art is really solid. The animation is really solid. They clearly spent money on it. I'm watching a couple shows this season where they are not spending any money on it, including I've somehow gotten stronger when I improve my farm-related skills, which feels like it has no budget. Because the CG monsters, at least I think two different people have called it like, it's like they're trying to make it look like it's stop motion and failing. Like, it's bad. Some of the monsters are real bad. But yeah, I'm not watching all of the isekai this season. And there's at least, Isekai from Another World, or Isekai Uncle, Another World Uncle, hasn't come back yet. That is coming back because that was out last season and on Netflix, but then it got delayed until this season due to COVID / production issues within the studio. And I do want to watch that show because I think the manga is great, and but I don't have Netflix right now, and so I was waiting for it to be over, and then it got like postponed basically. But they have to this season they have to re-air all the episodes they already aired again, and then add the new ones in, which is what they do in Japan when they get delayed. That happened last year or 2 years ago with COVID, where like 2 episodes of a show aired and then they just put it out again. And what happens with those shows is, if it's Crunchyroll, they put out the new episodes, but they don't promote them because they already promoted that show. They already used their budget to promote that show the previous season. So like a lot of those shows, and Funimation was the same way. A lot of those shows didn't get like, hey, this show is back. New episodes are out. Like, they didn't get a lot of promotion, at least here in the United States. And that's a shame. So maybe Netflix will promote it. I don't know. But I'm not necessarily holding my breath. All right, let's keep working on this helicopter. I got one more animated for you to talk about. If you have High Dive and you want to watch a short, and by short I mean these episodes are teeny tiny, is a motion graphic style anime called Doomsday With My Dog. It is about the last human on Earth, who is a high school age girl that we don't know her name. We do not have any information about her. We know the name of her dog, her Shiba Inu, named Haru. Haru loves his master and is looking out for her. She is the last human on Earth. Also, they can communicate, and it's basic. So you would think, okay, some weird thing happened, because there's like aliens, and there's like gods, and there's like fox demons that show up, and like there's all this like stuff. So it must have been after the apocalyptic event that suddenly she could talk. But no, it is stated that she could talk to animals before the apocalypse. So I don't know what's going on with this show, but it's weird. And it's a lot of just quick little things. The highlights for episode 31 and 32 were Haru was talking to a dog about the mysteries. A dolphin. So it was just Haru and a dolphin waxing poetic about the mysteries involved in the moon, which was just fun. And then our main girl is shocked to realize she can't remember the last time she was sick. She has the realization that she just like does not remember. She remembers faking having a cold to stay home from school. or having a fever, but she does not remember actually having that, having a cold, and her just being completely blindsided by that. And then also we found out Santa is real. In the world of Doomsday with My Dog, it is also implied that Santa is not a human. Haru talked to Santa, but said, it's like, oh, so I'm not the last person. And Haru was just like, that's not what I said. I said I talked to someone, not that they were human. Implying that Santa is not human, I guess. But apparently Santa is real. Also, time travel is real in that show. It's a weird show. We have dropped down, he's an immortal. Or Crushin', that's totally possible. We have dropped down to 32 subscribers. I have to update my subscriber thing. We are currently at 32 subscribers. Someone's subscription just ended during the stream. Once again, if you'd like to become a subscriber, you can use Cash Money, your Prime Gaming token. You could gift somebody a sub. We're down to 32 subscribers. Look, do I get paid now if I'm below 40? Yes. They did roll that out where the minimum for payout used to be $100. That minimum is no longer there as of this month. So you can make less than that and you can still get a payout. That is true. I am not discounting that as a true statement, but also I would like to hit 40. 40 is a good number to hit. The goal is always 40. So if you want to become a subscriber, you could do that or get the sub or whatever. I stop talking about it when I get to 40. That's the rule. But again, I will get some payout. Now, we reach a certain point where if I get below $50 a month, I won't get a payout, and that's a bummer. Also, the money I make from streaming goes into a fund to buy model kits, and you support the channel that way. So it makes it easier for me to continue to buy model kits. Sandra says, I remember when I hit 40. I mean, I should probably say that I want to be my own age every month, which was 42. I should probably be like, the goal is 42 because I'm 42. Like, I would like as many subscribers as my age. But then I feel like, I don't know. Then I'm just constantly talking about how old I am. And you already know that I'm an older person. You already know I'm over the hill. God. I liked that disappeared by the time I got to this age. Like, you don't hear about, like, Lordy, guess who's 40? Like, the over the hill. Like, I'm sure that happens. I'm sure there are people who are like, 40, huh? Well, we gotta, like, celebrate because your life's over, huh? Like, I like that seems to have gone away by the time I got there because it always seemed weird. Because it was just like, I don't know. It seemed odd. Anyway... here's your over the hill cane. Yes, indeed. Do not need a cane. All right, we're continuing to build this helicopter. And while I work on this helicopter, I would love to hear from you, friends. Yes, Aristophan, it's peak boomer activity. I would like to hear from you, friends. Are there video games that you're playing? Are there TV shows that you're watching? Are you watching anime that I'm not watching and I don't cover here? Did you see a movie? Like you watching the horror movies for the month, or you checked out the new Halloween or the new Hellraiser and you're like, Pat, you would never watch these, but I think they're great. Or, you playing some video games. Let me know. As I said, I guess I'm going to try Marvel Snap this weekend because maybe I would like a card game to play. I've been playing Gundam Evolution, which has been a very fun game. It has been, again, I did not think that I wanted to keep playing Overwatch likes. I thought I had played enough Overwatch, but turns out I like being a gun tank or the Unicorn Gundam. Those are fun for me, and I like them. So I'm gonna probably keep playing. And also my friends like it, and I like playing with my multiplayer friends. Let's see. Aristophan says like a coffin rented for 40th birthday party. Yup. That kind of shit. You played some more Vampire Survivors now that hit 1.0. Still very good. Yeah, that's not my thing, but I think it's cool. I think Vampire Survivors is awesome. It's not something that I would really be playing, but I think it's neat. I started watching Extraordinary Attorney Woo, and it's really, really good. Okay, I have not checked that out, Xandra. Extraordinary Attorney Woo, but that sounds cool. I think I saw the preview of that, but then didn't end up picking it up. This is a busy anime season and TV season. Ghost Valve is awaiting Persona 5 Royale and new Mario Rabbids games. Yes, Mario plus Rabbids, Spark of Hope or whatever. People seem to be fucking digging that shit. That's awesome. I'm glad they're liking it. I'm happy that they're enjoying that thing. Deep into Lego Bricktails, says Aristofan. Some of the builds have been surprisingly difficult. That's on Epic, right? I gotta pick that up. I couldn't find it at first because I didn't know that it was on Epic, and now I'm like, I should probably pick up that game. It seems pretty cool. I might be picking up Lego Bricktails, is what I'm saying. Playing Vampire Survivors right now because it turns out I'm not in a good enough mood for Gundam Evolution. Turns out it has Xbox achievements now and spam notifications on my PC for several minutes this last broke. Well, there you go. You found out. You've been playing Star Wars Battlefront BF 2, Sacred 2, and occasionally SD Gundam Battle Alliance. So yeah, a friend of mine's playing that and seems to be enjoying that game. Lashbrook says, Aristovan is playing Lego Bricktails on a console. Oh, is Lego Bricktails also on Steam? I found it on Epic, and I thought it might be an Epic exclusive. But if it's on Steam, I mean, I don't care either way. I'm just saying I should get that. I saw it on Epic. If it's also on Steam, I might get that just because I have more games on Steam than Epic. But I'm not one of those folks that's just like, oh, it's an Epic exclusive? Well, then I won't be playing it. Because for some reason, I've decided that there should only be one store on the PC, even though that doesn't make any sense. And also, maybe this person I'm making up, who is actually unfortunately real, doesn't remember when Steam was at first a thing and Valve made that, and people were like, I have to download a client, I can't just buy a video game. Fuck you, Valve. Time to make a 90-minute video about this event, says Lord Crashing in. Yeah, totally. Like, I understand if you don't like Epic as a company. You have every right to do that. And there's a lot of reasons to feel that way. I am not telling you to not hold them accountable for garbage or not be mad or unhappy about that. But, like, if you're like, I don't like that they have an exclusive video game. It's not like it's a console exclusive. Zeno has to go. You got work tomorrow? Okay, no problem. I mean, we're only here for another like 10 minutes or anyway, but Zeno, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming on the raid, even if you didn't know you were. And I'm glad you hung out on stream. Nice to have you here. Oops. Did I just, no, it fell over here. Great. Working on our helicopter here. Oh, cool. Now we're going to make a wing, not a wing, I don't know. We're building a part. I don't know what these are. The first descent is a loot shooter, coming out. Oh, that's fun. I have not heard of that. Like I said, I think this weekend is going to be Marvel Snap. I might see if I want to get that. But I going back to that, I should take a look at Lego Bricktails because it seems neat and it seems like something I could play on stream, right? Like that feels like a game that I could play on a Tuesday. Obviously, next Tuesday, Jackbox Party Pack 9. There's a new Jackbox that came out today. Shout outs to Rich Gallup. Rich Gallup now, for the last couple months or month or so, has been an employee of Jackbox. Joined up with them. Has been working there for a little while, which we love. And sent me a code, which is gracious of him and I appreciate. I can finally say that Rich Gallup is working on a video game that I want to play because he did a lot of mobile stuff that didn't seem particularly my cup of tea. But obviously I love Jackbox, so very happy for him. Also just happy that he's at a cool creative job. Also, our friend of the stream, Rich Gallup, is at a job where he doesn't have to be the funny guy. Because like he worked on for Game Spot and and podcasts and videos and stuff, and has all that has been the guy, the front person, the funny guy. There are people at that company that he can do that stuff, but he doesn't have to be the person. Like, Rich is probably not their first choice to, like, make the funny PowerPoint for the Christmas party, which Rich has been the funny guy at the Christmas, like the funny host for the Christmas party at other gigs. Like, he's had other jobs where he has had to fulfill that role, and he probably doesn't have to do it here. Rich did a great job finishing it. Yeah, I think he said something like, hey, Jackbox Party Pack 9 is out, and it's the best one I've ever been a part of, which is, it's the only one. It's a good gag. But yeah, I have it. I downloaded it. I made sure it worked. I will be playing it this weekend with some friends to make sure that everything works out good. I believe now it could fall apart, but I have made tentative plans with some friends to play Jackbox, which will be a good time. And I will be able to test out the microphone, test out the games to make sure they're right for a stream where only one person can talk. Me, your friend Pat, because sometimes they have games that doesn't work for. But yeah, that'll be fun, and we'll be playing that next Tuesday. Very excited for that. Of course, Saturday and Monday streams here. On Saturday, we'll be finishing up this model kit, or this Lego set, I should say. I keep calling it a model kit, out of habit. We'll be finishing up this Lego set on Monday. I think, wait, I might have done this wrong. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna put this here, and then I gotta put this like this. All right, so I did that, and then I want to put another piece in front of it. All right, we did that. We're working on the top of this helicopter. And I don't know what I'm building after that, because I think that the jet will take up, Saturday will be all Lego, and then I believe I am getting something bought off my wish list that should be here in a couple days, because it was purchased through. It did have free shipping from Amazon, so I expect that'll be here in time. The Prometheus from Zabungle. We already talked about that on stream a bunch. I already said Zabungle a bunch. I believe that will be here in time for me to be the next thing that I work on, which I'm excited about because it's a weird looking little kit. I want to build it, so that'll be a fast kit to build, though. It looks like. All right, we got to do the blades for the helicopter. We're almost done with this helicopter. We're not going to get it to you know what? Actually, yeah. You know what? We're going to stay here and finish this because, one, it's not even 11 yet, and two, there's only a couple parts left to put together, and that way I can fully know this, and then we just focus on building the jet on Saturday, and we'll probably knock it out in that whole stream. So we'll do that. So let's get this together, because all we have to do right now is just the top of here, the blades. We just got to build the blades, so this shouldn't take long. If we go a little past 11, we go a little past 11. My voice has been holding up, which is great. I'm very excited about that because I was afraid it wouldn't for this stream. All right, there we go. Blade do spin, which is good. Now we just have to put on here. Yeah, so I'll before Saturday, I'll take this thing fully apart and null everything together and be ready to build. And we'll just start from scratch. I think that makes a lot more sense than for me to, on Saturday, do like 8 pieces of Lego and then just sit there and take it all apart. That doesn't seem right. And the jet will be the most pieces of any parts that I'm building here. So, like I said, this wasn't going to take long to do at all. Might as well just, quote unquote, power through. Not that this was difficult at all. But yeah, helicopter. I'll show you there. There's the helicopter. Flies around. Spins like that. Got a helicopter. Helicopter's there. I'm going to take a photo of this helicopter now. And then we will... So yeah, we finished the boat. And then we built a whole helicopter on stream. And then... Cool. Xander says, have you played Grounded at all? The robot helper Burgle is one that talks in a comedic cadence that sounds a lot like yours. Oh, no, I haven't. I mean, I've watched people play Grounded. I have not come across hearing Burgle. That's interesting. I'll have to investigate Burgle because it sounds like me. Okay, sounds like or my cadence. So it's kind of got that uh, weird like it's not mid Atlantic, but it's not it's southern New England, but not the mid Atlantic kind of thing. That I mean that is what I have as far as I can tell. Um, anyway, let's go back over to the overhead. That is going to do it for our stream tonight. I hope you all had a great time. I did. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream. We always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone out there doing cool shit and give them a raid, especially because Bad Gunpla raided us tonight, which was so kind of Jason to do. So we are going to go ahead and find a stream to go check out. So we'll do that right now. See who's streaming. It's a Thursday night. Who we got here? We are gonna go raid. Matt Wiggins, our friend Matt is streaming. Oh no, you know what? Actually, no, we're not gonna. Matt rules. We stream, but we raid Matt all the time. Waypoint. The fine folks at Waypoint are doing Save Point right now, which is a fundraising effort. They are raising money for abortion aid. Now, the people you know from Waypoint, from Vice Gaming, they are not currently playing right now. It is their mods are playing, and their mods are playing late in the night. But their mods are not the same folks as far as getting people to come out and donate. So we should go and support them. So we're gonna go raid Waypoint. And I think it would be nice to have a nice little raid. If you can't donate, that's also okay. They do take small donations. They do various things like that. Why didn't that work? But if you want to come along on this raid, please do. If you can support, that would be great. But either just like talking in the chat, like there are a bunch of mods that work very hard, and they could use some support. As they keep things going and keep the vibe going. So thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Come back on Saturday night, 9 p.m. as I build a supersonic jet. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye.